I felt like the Oilers were really the only slam dunk fit for Karlsson at that point. And now Edmonton with Bouchard and Ekholm, they're probably not in the market. I really wonder what their approach will be to Karlsson and how much they'll be willing to retain on him.
And I think that they need to move Karlsson. If you're Mike Grier and you can't get assets for what Karlsson is, what he's worth at this point, you're never going to see it again. He's coming off over 100-point season as a defenseman. We haven't seen that since Brian Leetch in what seems like a decade ago, or a century ago at this point.
Yeah.
Teams could use his offensive boost, but he's a very strict set of parameters for what you need, right? Like he's not your shutdown guy. He's not going to kill penalties. You're bringing in Karlsson to put points up. Could teams use him? I'm sure, but they have to retain salary. They're not going to get 3 first-round picks for him. Listen, like the San Jose Sharks have some pretty good prospects that are moving through at forward. They're young. You look at Bordeleau, Eklund, Gushkin, like pretty good, but they still could use more draft picks if you ask me. I think you got to move Karlsson to do that because you're not going to get rid of Vlasic with his deal. I don't think you can move Couture at 34 years old with 4 more years at $8 million and dash 30 last year, and Hurdle's probably there. So if you're looking to stockpile and rebuild within the parameters of what's feasible and has value, Karlsson's your guy. So this is either shit or get off the pot territory where I don't think you can do it a year or two from now. It's going to happen this summer. It's just a question of how much are they willing to retain and who's out there. Because Karlsson ultimately can say, no, I don't want to go there. And that may be the question at the end of it when this is all said and done. Erik, how bad do you want to win? Are you willing to go to a team in the top half of the league or only teams that are the top 10? And that's where you're going to find out how much he really wants to win.
Yeah, I think so. And also how it's a fascinating direction the Sharks can take this in because it's a bit of a fork in the road. You mentioned it, right? Like you have Hurdle, you have Couture, these aging guys up front. You have Karlsson, Vlasic on the blue line. Like, do you go this summer and say, no, we're going to retain 50% on Karlsson. We're going to buy out Marc-Edouard Vlasic and take a huge financial hit there. And we're going to commit to trading everything we can for picks and just dive right into a rebuild?